So at least we know and understand the truth. But personally, I saw a lot of process which, in my opinion, were actually intended to humiliate the eventual candidate who came Jubilee. The Mount Kenya fellows decided that they have a right to choose a candidate for the people of Kenya, for Azimio. So they organized those interviews. They were organizing interviews as you. It shocked me that Raila actually surrendered himself to that process, because that process diminishes the integrity and the stature of the candidate who emerges. Because the rest of the country would wonder, who is this Mount Kenya fellows pretending to be interviewing candidate for us, for the rest of the country? Because the rest of the country is interviewing this candidate through the voting process. But you have another group here which is big and powerful, selecting the candidate for Azimio. I was shocked that Raila actually surrendered to that process. So most people watching that process, they can see that the losing is starting very far. Because when a candidate is not taking charge of your election, you see, when you go to organize an election, you are organizing a government. So you have the advisor team, you have basically the people who form your cabinet already in back rooms. You don't announce them the way they intend also, because when you announce your government before the election, you have contracted all the enemies of the people you have announced. You have told those people, because every one of these politicians, there are people who don't like them. So you have surrendered those who don't like the people already you have appointed before the voting day. So you keep quiet the way basically Ruto did. You talk to them quietly, you tell them when Kishinda you will be this minister, but you are not telling the country. So there was a lot that went wrong with Azimio. The other thing that went so terribly wrong, and I think all those people commenting, they want to mention, is the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta was the chairman, a retiring president. He's the chairman of the party which is proposing a candidate. That candidate should have been the chairman of that party, because this president is retiring. But then he shares a party, of which, and then also there's a new agreement in the issues. 40% of government to somebody who has served 10 years and is going home. So the whole structure of that party, the way it was corrupted in a way that the people are just going to detest the structure, the way that structure was. So I am not taking away their complaint about rigging and all that, or stealing the election, because I think the way we can actually get to know the truth as a country and move forward is to have an investigation on exactly what happened, even in these fellows, because I cannot understand how you walk to Serena and tell us those stories and yet refuse to go to parliament, to that committee, because you have an opportunity now to tell the country what happened. Because a legal process has started. They ceded that opportunity they should have taken. Then you take the opportunity with the tribunal. So if you are going to be fired, but you have sent your peace as you know it. So the idea of resigning and skipping those committees, for me, I think is escapism, and I don't think it has assisted the country, because the issue here is you assess the country to know the truth so that the truth can set us free, all of us.